Dan's new bike day today.
Yeah.
So Dan's one of our mechanics. You've been with us about 8 months now.
Yeah, joined
and
in
this is
January.
your Cycle2Work scheme by.
Yeah.
You've been scouring all the clearance lists, haven't you?
Yeah.
All the brands. See what's the most amount of bike you can get
Absolutely,
for
yeah.
your £3,000 Cycle2Work scheme. So what have you got, Dan?
I've gone with the Salsa Cassidy, bit of a niche brand here in the UK really, Salsa, but this is an awesome bike. Everyone that's reviewed it and its little brother the Blackthorn has given it rave reviews.
And what's the travel?
It is 170 on the front, or you can do 180. But I'll be doing
so you're building
170.
yourself a pretty sick enduro bike then,
and
really.
165 on the rear.
And you're currently riding an aluminium privateer, aren't you?
Yeah.
So this is going to be quite an upgrade.
Yeah, this already feels a fair chunk lighter than the privateer frame.
So of everything that we've taught you since your time at Mapdeck, what are your thoughts on this frame right now?
I'm pretty impressed so far. Yeah, the bottom bracket's nicely faced and it's got the aluminium tube in there like you'd see on the look frames.
It's solid. BSA bottom bracket.
Yeah, BSA bottom bracket.
But you're not fitting SRAM dub, are you?
No.
You're going straight Shimano crank,
yeah.
so that's
doing
all
it properly.
Good to see a proper aluminium bonded in. Yeah. You've actually gone for the raw carbon finish.
Yeah. So this is the only option they do with the frame only. There are like jazzy purples and yellows and reds with the complete build.
So you can still see like where they've reinforced around here, like a sheet of carbon.
Yeah, I just had a torch over it before getting it out the box and gawking at it a bit.
Yeah, the headset looks okay. You've got you found like a little flap of.
Yeah, just in here is like a 2 centimetre
little bit of flashing.
Yeah, could just be a sheet of carbon that's just.
It looks like where the down tube and the top tube join. There's like a bit of carbon and stuff there. All the pivots look great.
Yeah.
The brake facings look fantastic. Some of the cleanest brake facings
really
I've seen.
Stood out to me when I got it out the box.
So behind us is everything else.
So in here is a factory 38 and I've gone for the orange one.
Look at those, fantastic. So you've got absolutely all out. You've even got the very pointless pressure relief valves on there and everything.
I have them on my privateer. I've got them. They've only ever made a slight hiss after doing 5.5k of downhill in Queenstown.
How disappointed were you with the brake mounts though?
Yeah, it's not ideal. There's a lot of paint there.
So we'll be facing that as part of this.
Yes, we will be, yeah.
Nice, very nice, Dan, very nice. So to go with perfectly the orange,
yeah,
because colour matching has never been your thing.
No, if you ever see me dressed up on the weekend, it's, pattern and colour clashing.
I'm not sure if these are old school or not. Talk me through the wheels, Dan.
Yeah, so I remember being younger for like 10 or 12 and just seeing the
Mavic, when the Mavic DeeMax first came out, the bright yellow hubs
in
as well.
the early 2010s, seeing them kind of just hanging up on the local bike shop wall and just thinking, they look awesome.
And you were wrapping them up with Michelin wild grippers.
They are the DH 16 for the rear and the 22 on the front. So I've ran these a fair few times. I had the non-racing line ones a while ago on the privateer and they were really good. And then I've just gone back to the racing line ones, which are a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
But I wanted something a bit faster for the rear.
We are hopefully going to get you to see Dan fit the Cush core before the SD card fills up. They are an absolute pain to fit. Looks like you've gone for a Burgtec finishing kit.
Yeah, pretty much every Burgtec thing I could buy besides the grips.
Nice,
I've gone
matchy.
with. Yeah, just because Burgtec just looks cool when it's on a bike. And I've got the EDC pump as well.
Ah, yes, you've actually gone for the pump with all the built-in tools inside. And then for your group set, you're pretty much XT drivetrain.
It is a mix of XT and SLX. So I've gone with XT cranks and shifter with the Burgtec bolt, And then for cassette and derailleur, I've gone with SLX, just value.
I keep an SLX on mine actually because you just bash them off rocks. Yeah, so quick.
And then I just get the Superstar Components jockey wheels because I found the SLX ones just wear out.
And then you got some Shimano Saints for your brakes.
Yeah.
And bottom bracket, we have given you the Bic one that the Bic one gave us. They gave Henry the pink one that he's put on his Crux, and we're giving you the gold one. I mean, it doesn't match in the slightest, but so these are the ones with the ceramic bearings, not that that matters, and we are going to be running the extra additional seals as well, because basically we want to test this and annihilate them, because we are actually quite liking the Bic one bottom brackets. Right, we're going to get on with the build. Let's get into it, Dan.
Today we're heading heading out with Dan as he sets up his new bike. He's been waiting all week to ride it. He's outside now. Let's go meet him. Dan, what's the plan for today?
Today we're going to be bracketing the suspension, checking the bar roll. I've just set it up for what felt good in the workshop, but that might not feel good out on track, and maybe a bit of playing around with tyre pressures.
Are you excited?
So excited.
Let's do it. So some of you guys may not have seen us on the channel before. I'm Tyre Mechanics, and this is Dan. He joined us in
middle of January.
Middle of January. You got quite a cool story how it happened to be.
Well, I was working in a bike shop in New Zealand. Just wanted to come back to the UK for various reasons. And my best mate Luke sent me the video that Paul posted as the job ad. In a matter of minutes later, my dad said that one of his old work colleagues had just invested in a bike shop in the Lake District. His old work colleague is Simon, who you may have seen on the channel with the TT bike and in the podcast. So it's like two completely different people sending me the same job listing at minutes apart. So it sort of felt like a right fit, and spoke to Simon, drove up to the lakes, had a chat, and then just after New Year, and then started a few weeks later. Myself, I saw that video and just applied a bit more of a conventional way. I didn't know Sam, didn't know anyone. Managed to get a house, and now I'm here enjoying this. Look at this. Class. So the important thing to know with the K-bolt or Q-axle, whatever Fox like to call it, is you can't just tighten up the through axle and then call it a day. You have this pinch bolt on the front. So I have cinched up the front axle to 9 Newton meters specified. Then what you've got to do is compress a fair few times, and then you just tighten up this front pinch bolt, and what that does is it makes sure that these lowers stay perfectly in line with the uppers. Just pedalling up this like gradual forest road climb, just thought I'd take the time to talk about my initial suspension setup. I've basically just gone with the fork pressure I had in the privateer, just 90 psi, and then just whacked all of the dials right in the middle of where the guide for Fox says they should be. I think that'll probably change as the day goes on. We'll just change it sort of one click at a time, just so we know what's really making a difference. And then my shock, I've got 30% sag on now, which is 170 psi for my weight. And again, that's right in the middle for what Fox say it should be. I think that's sort of the goal for the day, just to keep me supported over high-speed chatter and around some big fast corners if we can find some on these tracks.
Sick.
That's so much easier than the privateer.
What, because of weight or just?
I don't know if it's weight or I'm fresh. But yeah, just up there is a bit of muscling on the privateer, but this is just whoosh, straight up, no drama. Yes, I've just got back from the first lap on this, and yeah, it was unreal. Just gripping so well on like all these wet routes and the soft stuff that you get like in the middle of corners. I felt so fast. I don't know if that's because I'm just super stoked to ride a new bike, or this bike is genuinely faster than the privateer. I'll have to do some like timed laps to really figure it out. But yeah, the fun factor is certainly running high today. So about 5 or 6 laps in now, yeah, and as I said before, it's been so much fun. I've added one click to the high-speed compression that just calmed it down over some really like chattery roots and rocks. But other than that, I've left it all on the stock settings for now. That may change in the future if I go to like bike parks and want to change it a bit. But yeah, it just goes to show the amount of data that Foxer must have acquired to set what they think are the recommended settings for the consumer is just, yeah, unreal. They are nearly bang on in my opinion. So on these testing laps, I have had one little crash, which was despite just allowing me to take so much speed into a corner, far more than I would have done on the old bike. And at that speed, the corner just sort of gave up. It's a muddy berm and it looks like it's got loads of support around the top of it, but it's just slush and rubbish. And the front wheel just blasted straight through and just sort of laid it down like a little bit of a low side. But I'm all fine, yeah, bike's all fine. It's just one of those things, you know, when you're sort of pushing on the new bike, it just happens.
Give it a flip. Oh.
So I just thought as I'm pedalling back to the car, just have a bit of lunch, I'd give some more ride impressions of this bike, about how it's sort of climbing. I thought I've spoken a fair amount about descending. Climbing is the other half of enduro. So here are my thoughts. This does climb substantially better than my privateer. I've got exactly the same gear ratios on there, 32 on the front, 5110 on the back, and this just zips up things. I think that's mainly probably down to the smaller rear wheel. This is a mullet setup. So yeah, having that little rear wheel effectively like gears down everything. And then as well, this bike is about 1.5 kilos, 2 kilos lighter when fully laden than the privateer, which yeah, makes a massive difference. Just like on the really techie little tricky climb sections and just like throwing it round into a corner, this is just much more playful. Hope that's okay and not too incoherent.
We're just gonna say goodbye, me and Dan. Off to the pub for debt socks, Crocs and bike. I think Dan's buying today, so
I am.
that's great.